You know we always do this.
Oh, you gotta turn it around.
Hey.
You gotta...
Let's see. We done figured this thing
I swear,
out.
boy, this one right here, y'all have no idea. I'm just, every once in a while.
What?
Hat off. Wow.
Thank you.
Jeez.
You gotta use this right here. You gotta use
well,
this
ain't
right here.
nobody
Ron, hey Ron. Ron's on here.
What up, Ron? Ron T.
Yes, Ron T in the building. That boy be doing things and stuff. Shout out to Ron who helped me figure out how to properly do some things behind the scenes. I appreciate the love, fam, because you know I'm new to this stuff, so I'm learning and growing. So thank you, Ron, for that.
That's multimedia man
for
right
the
now.
love of you, Smooth Cat.
What up? What up? That's my god brother.
Oh,
Hank.
that's your god brother, Hank.
Yeah.
Hank. Oh, Hank.
Yeah.
You know that's what they called my father.
Get out.
Hank.
Yeah, that's my god brother.
So he's got to be good people's,
yes.
right?
Oh, he's great people's.
Yes.
He's up in the Bay Area from South Philly, but he up in the Bay Area.
All right, that's what's up. Let's see. Mercedes 34 has joined.
Hello, Mercedes.
Hey.
Welcome.
Thank y'all. Because it's getting to be a situation. Raina Joy.
Producer.
Extraordinaire. Hey, Raina Pooh. Oh, look at the green hearts. I don't know whose hearts are green, but that's cool. Hey, fam. That's my sissy. Loving the series. Thank you.
Thanks, brother.
Thank you so much. It's getting real. And hey, Danette.
Hello.
How you doing?
Well, thanks to everybody who's sticking with us and watching and just kind of hanging in there. Love to know like any feedback you guys have and what you're feeling about what's going on between Caleb and Montana.
Yeah,
it's a lot going on.
It's a lot. I feel so bad for them. I feel so bad for them right now. I just feel like both of them are in a tough position. I mean, some of that's inflicted, and I know we'll talk about that, but I feel bad for them right now.
Yeah.
They sweet things.
Oh, wait a minute. Who's joined us?
But last episode was deep. Yeah, it was. But we missed last week, so before we get started on talking about this week's episode, we're going to go back and talk about last week's episode, which was when Caleb came home to surprise Montana with the trip and how that all went down. And, it's interesting because I had a guy actually called me after that episode, and I was surprised because he really related to Montana. And he was just like, man, I didn't really know. I don't know how I really feel about this, but he was kind of like, man, this makes me even more not want to get married because you do have to compromise in marriage. And if you are, Shelly Shell joined. Hey, Shelly Shell. If you do have career ambitions, sometimes that gets through Crystal Chanel. Hey, boo. Sometimes that gets in the way of quality time and things that you might want to do that might make the relationship better, but you need to be working. And so he really was like, man, now that makes me really not want to get married because I know I'm supposed to compromise with my mate.
Well, I mean, that's in any relationship. There's always a give and take and a compromise. But I think that it really kind of harkens back to what agreements we have within the relationship and what an understanding we might have at any given moment, as far as where we are and what our plans are. Mm-hmm. And just being conscious of the fact that should be subject to change because life is ever evolving. So, yeah.
But thank you. Thank you. You said I love beautiful.
I told her she was camera ready today.
So the thing is, okay, a lot of people would feel like, Caleb, communication is key, absolutely. But a lot of people, yes, because you, Ron, I definitely want to hear from you because you are in a relationship, and you guys are both very powerful people in the industry and do a lot of great things on your own. So I definitely want to get some feedback from you. But, and I'm sure you guys have had to make a lot of sacrifices because I know Lettucey's schedule can often require that you guys travel a lot. And so you may have things going on and, so I definitely, we got to circle back to that. Yeah. But people feel like, I know women feel like, or some, I would say, like you got a great man, he can provide, and, he's coming home to surprise you with a trip, a first class trip for 7 days, and you're talking about you don't want to give up your job, your work. Like they feel like that's insane. That's crazy. I know being from the South, like I come from that kind of background where it's just like, you got a good husband, that's what it is, handle your family, handle your relationship. but you have dreams of your own. And I know Caleb loves Montana, but I feel like, you know, he has to respect where she is, because I'm sure he made a lot of sacrifices. Even I would cry and be so happy to get rid of her. That's a real hubby. Take you. Yes, vacation. Yes. But Raina, if he came to you and said, you know, your event is coming up May 7th, and he said, we got a trip planned May 7th. I already bought the first class tickets. I forgot about, you know, your thing, and you're like, I can't miss this. And he's but I already bought these first class non-refundable tickets. What you gonna do? See what I'm saying? That's what it is. Like,
and but if you remember in the episode, they had an agreement. As long as there was he gave her a certain amount of notice, she would be able to take the time off. So he just felt like, well, I've given you more than enough time to give your job notice that you were going to be gone for a week. Can we at least do that? And he was letting her know that he needed her right now. He needed some time with his wife.
For the love of you, do you think they're Caleb and Montana? I think they had a true understanding of what they wanted together as a union. That's the question. Do you think Caleb and Montana had a true understanding of what they wanted together as a unit? Yes, I think they thought they did. Right. But I think things started evolving, and her career started becoming more demanding than she really anticipated. And that's where and she wasn't really quite sure how to handle it, and she was very excited about what was happening. So it just kind of started spiraling out of control.
Coco
hey, Charo.
Hey, baby.
So I think that's what happened. It's being comfortable with yourself, and once you're a couple, your dreams are not just your own. Right. But, okay, your dreams are not just your own. So with that being said, I feel like that was an opportunity for Caleb to be maybe a little more understanding than he was, maybe, about her just getting this position, right? Uh-huh. And then him asking her to leave it for a week.
But here's the thing, and I understand what you're saying, and I completely understand your perspective, but that's essentially, isn't that what's at the heart of all of this? The perspective. It's like he was in kind of a sense of desperation with regard to their relationship and where it was at that given time. So he said, I really need some time alone with my wife.
But could it have been a 3-day weekend trip?
It possibly could have been. I just think that he felt like it was more important for her to just kind of agree and go along. Right. And she felt like what you just stated. Right. So they were kind of...
And he had a tantrum.
He did.
He had a tantrum.
Little one.
Compromise on both ends. Yes.
Yes, agreed.
And I feel like the compromise possibly in this situation, this is kind of playing devil's advocate, could have been a weekend vacation to allow her to she wasn't quite comfortable in her new position. And so allow her the opportunity to still feel secure in that, because she's still pursuing her dreams, and go on a weekend vacation. Do you think it's less impactful if it wasn't a whole week? You know what I mean? Like... I feel like those are the things that are compromised. You know, a king cultivates the atmosphere of his wife as she presses into her destiny. Yeah. So, I mean, what do you think?
I think that, you know, a great vacation is going to take a little more than 3 days. But I do understand if there was something that pressing work-wise that you had to get back to, he could have maybe compromised and said, okay, we might have to cut our trip a little short. Okay. But I just really feel that the trip and the whole thing was kind of bought out of a feeling of desperation to reconnect with his wife. So he was just kind of unrelenting in that way because he felt like we needed that much time.
Okay. I can dig it.
Just my opinion.
I just think that's the struggle. I think a lot of what Caleb is dealing with is his guilt. And I think he made those kind of sacrifices for his career, and that caused him to not spend as much time with his mom. So I think he's carrying over the mistakes that he feels that he made, and that's objective or subjective. I think he's carrying over the mistakes that he feels that he made as a result of not spending... Raina says absolutely that he made. Thank you for the hearts that he made with his mom, and now he's like being a little bit overbearing with her to try to salvage the family thing that he wishes he had done better with. You know.
Well, okay. Well, I mean, but at the end of the day, don't we all, when we're coming from a place of fear of losing something, fear that something is no longer what it once was, don't we kind of get a little overzealous in our desire or in our actions to kind of see if we can fix the issue? It's not.
I think so.
I don't think you can be tailor made. It's just kind of like, this is where I'm at. I'm really putting forth my best effort to compensate. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Overcompensate.
Sure.
And I think both of them are doing that. I think she's overcompensating for what she saw her mother go through, and he's overcompensating for what he went through with his mother, ironically. Yeah. And both of them love each other. That's why I say the guy earlier asked about, do you think they had the same goals as a union? Yeah, I think they had the same goals. I just think that things evolved and changed, and both of them became so relentless with what they were fighting for.
Right.
Ron, have you guys ever come across a major situation where it was like a challenge? And I don't know if you're okay with me saying who your amazing, incredible woman is. But obviously, you're a photographer, so you're a photographer and actor extraordinaire and graphics design artist, like all these amazing things.
And don't forget director.
And director. But yours more in LA. Like, you can work here pretty much and it's cool. But with your lady, your love, she has to travel a lot. Her talent affords her the opportunity to travel a lot. Have you guys run into anything with that? Or has it been you're easily able to work it out because you work for yourself? Relationships are like improv. Sometimes you adapt, but you still want to reach your objective. Right. So have you guys had to do anything, though, to adjust? Like, have you ever had a pressing situation where it's just kind of like, wow, can we balance all of this? And that actually probably might be more of a question for her, but like, because you are based in LA. I don't know. I think sometimes it's hard when one person because Caleb is past that point. He had that. She would have had to understand when he going all around the world with his football team or whatever. But now he's at a point where he's been there, done that. So he wants her to be understanding and like, hey, Legacy.
Hey.
Hey, sweets. So we were just asking Ron, like, you guys are both very powerful people. You guys work in the industry. And, is it a challenge sometimes trying to balance a relationship and being pulled in so many different directions? Like, you got fans, you're traveling all the time. Like, when one person has more of that kind of intensive schedule than the other one can sometimes feel like, am I being left behind, or are you really considering me, right?
I guess, yeah, truly. But I think that, again, it comes back to, when you speak on Caleb and what he had already kind of passed as far as his career, when she met him, she understood where he was. He understood where she was. I think that you just have to, like somebody said, communication. As things change and evolve, you have to sit back down at the table and really, really hash it out again and again and again to see, okay, this is where we are, where are we headed? It's not like you can set something and then a couple years later go, okay, hey, this ain't working. Yeah, because we don't constantly communicate and update based on the way things change.
That's a good point, because I'm a firm believer I believe in the 90-day check-in. I believe you should talk to your partner, every 3 months. Hey, baby, how you feeling? Because, we all have issues sometimes that we just choose not to address for the sake of keeping peace. And then we both know what we're doing is for us, so sacrifices are made, but the end result is worth it. That's when you win, like when both people are on the same page with that. But unfortunately, it doesn't always happen that easily. But what I was saying is the communication is key. I think Danette said that earlier. I think you got to check in. So obviously in 3 years, things could have changed. You know what I mean? Things could
develop with each other in and out of every season. Hearts check in and check-ins because
we rise, keep dating. That's a good point. Keep dating. Okay. And I think that's what Caleb was trying to do. I think he was trying to say, let's have some us romantic. Let's get back to us.
Let's get back to what drove us to want to spend our life together.
Right. And Montana was in
she was caught up in, and understandably so.
Right.
I mean, because that was an amazing opportunity that she just happened to fall into. Mm-hmm. And when you have those opportunities.
Right, exactly.
You're who knows when this is going to happen again.
Mm-hmm. In Destiny, we have to hold each other's hands, court each other. Always, mommy says, keep it fun and alive, even in the midst of destiny. Yes, you have to be aware of that. Right. And I don't think I think Montana lost sight of that. She lost sight of, she kind of took it for granted that Caleb is going to be there. She took it for granted that he knows that she loves him. So she just kind of got caught up. And which leads us to episode 4.
Episode 4.
Y'all saw episode 4?
Feelings, thoughts?
Yeah. What y'all think about episode 4?
It was a little on the deep side of things. Things got very
a lot of people
serious.
were not expecting this to ever go there. Not in a web series, I think. You know what I mean? It went there. And it was hard because we did this live on stage for 6 shows last year.
Yeah.
I went into depression. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I literally went in real life depression during the time.
I went into the hospital in real life.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, yeah.
It was just that deep. And for those who are not in the industry or don't act, actors understand. But to get to that place emotionally, whew, like me just thinking about it right now, like I really feel some kind of way right now because it was hard. It was hard. It was real. Like, you have to go to a real place. Like, you can't even fake that. You know what I'm saying? And I know you were saying you would go home from rehearsals like a lot of times.
Yeah,
and like
it took everything. I mean, there's still songs that I just can't even listen to anymore. I mean, based on the songs from the play, just because of what they evoke in me emotionally, going back to that place.
And that's what made it so powerful and changed lives and rebirth marriages. I received that. Thank you. I received that because if that's what art is supposed to do, you create art so that you can. I mean, I didn't think of it at first that I wanted to change lives, but it's okay to argue. Yeah, it's okay to argue, but
yeah, I mean, with the idea that you got to get it out, with the understanding that it's important to really get it out and get it off your chest and put it out there so that you can be solution based.
Right.
You know, holding things in for the sake of peace never
right way.
Yeah, never
and arguing in the right way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
With an idea that you're looking for a solution.
Right.
Not to just chastise somebody and to belittle someone and make someone feel like, they're not worthy of what you're bringing to the table. It's about saying, hey, look, I know your heart. I know who you are. This is what I need right now from the person that I know. How can we get to that? So
Legacy just said, yes, as long as it has a solution. So do you feel like in voicing your opinion, you should already be coming to the table with a solution? Or is that something you feel like the two people should come to together? Or
like can sit down at the point it's like,
or just it's understood if we have a disagreement about something, we won't stop.
There she
do everything
is.
With love. Yes, absolutely. It has to come from a place of love. But what happens is what happened. Well, there's a few things that happened in episode 4 because Montana was deceitful, right?
Very.
We can agree. It's very?
Very.
Okay.
Oh, that was
Montana was deceitful, and Caleb reacted. And this is the interesting thing, and we talked about this yes, just a little sissy. Yeah, just a little. Thank you. This is what together you reach a solution, your team. Yeah. So we were talking about arguing and coming together, both people reaching a solution together. But when you have somebody, you have to listen first. Very important, extremely important. But if you don't if you go behind your partner's back and do something that you didn't give them an opportunity to listen to. Yeah,
because I have a question. Please, somebody chime in and give me your thoughts on when it's a situation that's that deep, okay, and you feel that you know how your partner is going to respond. Do you think it's okay to take the initiative to try and figure out a solution on your own? Or regardless of how you think they're going to respond, do you think it's mandatory
that they talk
to bring it to the table?
Yeah,
because basically, I think out of fear of his response.
Assume nothing.
Right.
Assume nothing.
She took matters into her own hands.
Yeah, you can't be a team. Ask. Well, she didn't ask.
No.
And what happened was, now here's the interesting part. Bring it up and talk. Well, that's the obvious thing. But she was so afraid of how, this pregnancy was going to, I guess, affect her life and her career.
Yeah.
Her career. And she knew how much Caleb wanted a family. So she already knew where he was going to go, what his thoughts were going to be. Hey, Mama Gibbs. My mom's on.
Hey.
She already knew what he was going to be. Obviously, he was going to want to have the baby. He wanted to have a plethora of kids.
And this was going to be a permanent effect.
This was
one way or the other.
Exactly.
Somebody was going to be unhappy.
Yes.
Somebody.
And I think she knew it was going to be her because Caleb was going to be ecstatic.
Right.
And she did the deed. And he found out about it pretty quickly, actually. And I think immediately she was regretful and remorseful. But the damage had already been done. But how do y'all feel about the way he reacted? Because no one had an issue with that for some reason. No one ever said, oh, she definitely got to leave him now. Or no one ever. Still to this day, everybody's just like, oh, got to see if they can recover.
Yeah.
And if you had taken the reason why he choked the ish out of her, if you had never stated that, why? But you had just said, okay, Caleb ends up choking the mess out of Montana.
Let me go wild.
Yes, let us see. That Caleb ended up choking her like that, then it would have been an automatic. It would have been an automatic. You gotta leave him. Right. You gotta leave him. It's done. You know what I mean? But no one feels like that.
So the question really is in those extreme, sensitive, hurtful situations, is there a limit? In terms of a limit of understanding based on that. Like,
what do you mean?
Like in other words, if somebody says, well, he almost killed her, almost choked her out. Then you go, well, this is what happened.
Right.
Like, is there an exception?
Right.
That's
and
really
to me,
the question.
I'm sorry. I have been, ever since I've shown this, even with the play, they ended up, well, I guess we could say that in the play, because we did a Valentine's Day weekend. Well, I'm about to talk too much.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
There she go. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, Montana is a reporter, so she's about to report the story. Yeah, nah.
So,
is there a limit? I'm sorry. Is there an exception to the rule?
Was this an exception? Was this, it ain't right that he choked the mess out of her, but I understand. Anyone? Because y'all seem to be like Team Caleb.
I'm going to take that as a yes. I'm going to take that
They
as a
must
yes.
have understood. They must have understood his emotion and his passion of why he did what he did.
Yeah.
Because Caleb kind of went crazy a little bit.
He had a meltdown. He had a nervous breakdown.
Emotional.
Like right in front of her.
In front of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us see. What's the yeah? What she saying? There's some exceptions? There's some exceptions to choking the mess out of somebody is a reason for you to do it. Because I know in episode 1, they assumed they knew. Because as soon as it would cut to, she's like, I got something to tell you. And they're like, okay, well, you can choke her for that.
Right.
Because it seemed like she had something. Never okay to put your hands on someone. Okay. So you took issue with that, Charo. When it happened, you didn't feel like it was a couple who could still come back together. Because yes, agreed. Never okay to put your hands on someone. So there's no but.
I think, no touching. Agreed. Okay. I mean, because it's more like understanding what she's allowed, but it's never okay. Okay. I mean, I think on a personal level, I don't think it's okay to put your hands on someone because Absolutely. All you do is you ultimately weaken your point of view. But he could have punched a wall. Right. When a man, well, I believe they can work it out, but both have to see where they went wrong and forgive. It was like a piece of him was dying. Sure. And that's how it felt. Thank you, Ron. But I'm not saying that to say that it was okay that he put his hands on Montana. What I'm saying is that when you put your hands on someone, you ultimately weaken your argument. You ultimately
come back.
Because that's what the focus gets transferred to, the violence, and not the issue at hand. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, as strong as his feelings were, the minute he put his hands on her, it could have just became about that. But it didn't. It didn't. But in life, it does.
Not always, though. Not always.
Okay.
I mean, not always. That was an extreme. She felt guilt from the second I believe that he found out. You know what I'm saying? Like, she immediately went into humility, apologetic mode. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And then you'll see his reaction in the next episode.
Yeah.
You'll see his reaction in the next episode. So true. Amen.
Yeah,
and I think it's very real. You know what I mean? Like, I just think there's no one way to how people are, there's no one way how people are going to react to anything.
But the damage has been done. Agreed.
But the question is it recoverable damage?
I think everything is recoverable.
Okay.
I believe that. Because I believe that you should not call someone your partner in life if you're not willing to love unconditionally and recover.
And so the same thing can be said for her, right? Having done what she did.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I agree.
Okay. There were no winners. No, there wasn't. Not even close. But, it was a horrible situation.
But that's the lessons we learn. It's a choice to fight for it. Exactly. It's a choice. Mm-hmm. And I think that we are not taught, a lot of us, not everybody, to fight.
Your play is Queen Sky, and I see you love displaying the complexities of relationships. Yes, let us see, I do.
And to love past the
What
point.
inspires this? I don't know. It just comes to me naturally. Like, when I sit down to write, my thought process is relationships. So I would have to say that maybe relationships through the arts is my ministry, perhaps, because I've gotten a lot of feedback that they've had some very impactful, a lot of impact on people. So, I can't even, if I try to go away from it, I can't. It's not my style. Like if someone were to say, write about, Kung Fu Panda, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do it. There's a positive cover. All things that both parties submit to the agreement. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can recover from, listen, you can recover from pretty much.
Keith is great with you. He is.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Lettucey.
Keith is like, I've been an actress like forever and ever and ever and ever. Since I was literally 7 years old, I've been doing regional theater. I've never worked with someone who I was so comfortable with and comfortable being vulnerable. That's hard. It's hard to be so comfortable with a person that you don't have to think about your personal space being invaded, so you can really be free to be who you are as that character. And Keith and I, even when he came in for the role and other people auditioned, I didn't feel that instant. Not saying that it maybe couldn't have been developed over time, but I've never had an instant chemistry with someone like I did with Keith. And we related to this story particularly from such a personal way that for both of us, we were already connected to who Caleb and Montana was. So it was easy for us to come together and make it believable, because that's the most comments I get all the time is like, y'all's chemistry is amazing. And that's a blessing because it helps us tell the story in truth. You know what I mean?
It's great. I honestly, it's like when we get in each other's space, we don't talk that much outside of here, believe it or not. And we rarely see each other except when we have things to do. And we're in each other's space for 60 seconds. Boom.
It's there. We feed off of each other. We're right there. We're there.
It's a great thing. I just believe they say, what's for you is for you.
It's for you. Yeah.
And Caleb said that to Montana. He said, what God has for you is for you.
I know, but God also gives you wisdom. Oh. Wait, right? That's right. God also gives you wisdom.
But again, it's a blessing, and it's a wonderful opportunity to help and inspire people to think, because there's way too many people throwing their hands up and giving up and feeling like things are impossible. But at the end of the day, an investment is an investment, and as long as people are willing to work, then you have to keep pushing forward. And
to go back to what you were saying before, Lettucey, my thing is I always want to tell the truth. Thank you for the hearts. Hearts? Yeah, hearts. No, just kidding. I like hearts. I'm a girl. So okay. So I like telling, because it is written for him and he was chosen before it was written, so he stepped into alignment. I agree.
I received that. I agree. You say.
I agree. It was definitely written for Keith Burke. There's no one, there's no one that could have brought this to life the way that he has but him. What I was saying was, I really believe in telling relationships aren't black and white. Nothing is black and white. There's sometimes obviously there's a villain, quote unquote, but for the most part, people aren't just walking around being evil. Right. So there's gray areas of I didn't think of it that way, or that ain't right, but I understand. That's real life. You know what I mean? So that's why I always try to write from a perspective that you can't tell what my real feelings and opinions are, because it doesn't really matter. It's just about telling the story of two people and for the audience to get what they need to get out of it. And I feel like as long as the dialogue is truthful and real, then they will relate to the characters. It won't leave people walking away feeling like, oh, she man bashing, or she hates women, or whatever that is. It's just the freaking truth.
And shout out to Kanique Scott for just keeping it 100. Like, in our community, it always seems like it has to be adversarial, and that breaks my heart deeply. It troubles me because the family unit is basically destroyed by pitting one against the other. And she just tells the story, and you're allowed to look at both sides honestly.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stereotype, and it doesn't all of a sudden, vilify the man or the woman.
Exactly.
And we just, we're just really blessed to have an opportunity to tell an honest story that creates real, true dialogue that you can grow with and grow from.
Yes, grow from. That's the thing. Because, I write stuff and then I come back, and even during this show, I grew tremendously as a person and healed some things for me. Sure. You know what I mean? Like, so that's what, at the end of the day, that's what you hope it will do. And you just, thankfully people say that it does, it does help them. And so I'm just glad you guys appreciate that and enjoy that. And, as I move forward with other things, Pieces Part 2, and people already drinking me about second season of Power Couple Struggle. I'm like, Lord Jesus.
Hey.
Yes, Rita Joy. I love you too, sis. So okay. So what's our takeaway? You wrote from purpose and passion, and that's God-given. Yes, it is God-given. And I'm grateful, because that's an undiscovered, I didn't know I could do that. Like, when I moved out here, I wasn't thinking about writing. Like, I just wasn't. And then it just kind of happened and took over, and I'm going with it now. Even as I kind of maybe start to fall back behind the scenes, I think I know I always write. What do you guys hope that Montana and Caleb go from after
what just happened?
What just happened? Like,
what's more? What do you think the realistic outcome of this situation is? Or
what are the possibilities? Because I think next week is going to be very interesting to you. You're definitely going to see inside of Caleb that
you've never seen.
And you're going to see a side of, I think, Montana that you've never seen.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Without giving too much away. But what do you think what do you think in real life would happen in a situation like this for a couple that has gone through this? Abortion.
Deceit.
Deceit
on a high level.
Do you think we can label it now they've been through domestic violence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. Domestic violence, deception, and when it feels, because basically it feels like the fiber of their relationship has been basically just ripped apart.
Yes. Yeah. They would really have to start over. I think self-discovery. Yeah. So do you feel like, Ron, that self-discovery can still be achieved together?
Isn't it a part of the growth
of
process?
A relationship?
Yeah, I think that people look at certain things as they.
But he kicked her out, though. So.
He did, but I'm just saying, when people have that, honestly, distrust and pain past healing. But if Spirit-filled, fight in Jesus' prayer.
Yeah, prayer. Hey, Rube.
Rube,
my brother.
Big Rube.
So you feel like Ron said self-discovery ministry. I see a standard model for true reconciliation.
What's up, brother?
Yeah, but getting to that point, I feel like this is extremely complex.
It is complex, but I also think that people have these quote unquote deal breakers. Mm-hmm. This isn't it's not just a business, it's a partnership, but the way you take on love for a human being is to be willing to go through the ebbs and flows, as long as there's a goal to me at the end of it, or during it. It's like we're working towards something, and there's going to be ebbs and flows.
Those are some deep ebbs and deep
There's not
flows.
a guarantee that anything like that will ever happen, but if it does, isn't that when you go through your toughest times in life, if you have a partner, isn't that when that's what they're there
Unconditional love, exactly.
Speak on it, Coco Red. Speak on it.
Do you think
She
that?
knows.
Do you think that it's a deal? It's either do you think this situation, Charo, can make or break Caleb?
If they can rebuild the foundation
Charo knows
of trust,
the whole story, but
communication, they can.
They can if they can rebuild the trust and foundation.
Now, Hank, I really like it. What do you feel is a way of rebuilding?
Exactly. That's the
foundation.
Question. Very complex, but covenant has unconditional love, right? Yes, Hank. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah, I just really wonder, like, what do you, when we think of rebuilding a foundation, because like a lot of people deal in loss. So they go, oh, the trust is broken and what we had is law. When you say rebuild it, how do you rebuild a foundation? Because it becomes a new house in a sense.
Spiritual marriage counseling. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you think time apart is good? Y'all so churchy up in here. I love it. Yes, God.
That's them, but I respect it.
Let us see. I wish we had a microphone because you would take us to church. Can't nobody take you to church like let us take you to church. My God, my God. Okay, so anyway, I just remembered Jesus the last time I heard her voice.
Yes, and consistently go back to why you first fell in love.
This is the beginning. This is the beginning. This is the beginning. I don't know what that means. Of honesty. Of honesty. Okay.
It does. I mean, like tragedy can afford you that ability to say, okay, this is truly where I am.
If they can move past the hurt, because Caleb is hurt and angry. Like he's so many things right now.
It's just like when you fall hard, like it hurts when you literally physically fall and hurt. But it heals.
But he loves her. He does love her.
And love conquers pretty much everything. Because through love, you feel empowered.
Yes.
I mean, because hate cripples.
Yes.
But love, it really empowers.
True love will get you past the hurt. I hope so.
We'll see. I mean, that's them too. You know, they
right. I hope so. She's cheering.
That's right, Coco Red. You better tell them, baby.
She's cheering. That time heals and true love heals, and the greatest of them all is love.
Absolutely.
Yes. And that's the beautiful thing.
Yeah. No, I was just going to say, like, you know, as I've gotten older, I really understand that on a much deeper level. Just understanding when people say, oh, love conquers all. And it sounds like such a throwaway statement. But when you understand what's at the heart of it and where it really truly it resides from such a spiritual place, you understand that it affords you to see things a lot clearly and with more of a compassionate heart. And because you're not thinking just from a place of ego, you're thinking from a place of truth.
Right. Because of the cross. Yes, God. Yes, go to church. Jesus, Father. I think that what people should understand, like they were saying earlier, unconditional love. Love is really about the other person. Something was hidden and now it's out in the open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new beginning. Okay, now I really get what you're saying. Let us see. Because now something was hidden. Now it's out in the open. Now they have the opportunity to start over again. You write your own next chapter. They just transitioned. Yeah. So absolutely. I can't wait to talk to y'all next week after the next episode and you see like how they handle it.
Because it takes time. I mean, we always have a knee-jerk reaction to things.
Yeah.
Because we're human. We have flesh. We have ego. We have emotion. And we react and we respond based on that and all of the things that happened to us in life before we got to that moment. Mm-hmm. And so we have to regroup. You first have to have the desire to want to rebuild and definitely have God in the fabric.
But that's easier said than done when you're hurting.
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
that was I was reading, but
but I'm just responding to him. I mean, I'm just saying.
Right. That's why you have a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah.
You're dealing from a real place based on what you need in your life and what you desire.
Right.
And you feel that this person who you trust more than anyone or who you're relying on has betrayed you. Great writing and acting, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Yes. Young to your team. But
listen, you ain't said nothing.
You know we know what it is.
But listen, see, that's a power
And can
couple.
we add Lettucey to the soundtrack?
Ooh,
that's what I want to know.
Lord Jesus. Can
we add Lettucey and Ron, Team Ron, Lettucey?
Okay, Lettucey, we got it.
See, if y'all, we'll do season 2. saying you have no idea.
You have no.
We're
you don't
actually
even understand.
containing ourselves.
Right, like
it's beyond
it might
anything.
It might seem like we being extra, but we
but
so not. That baby right there. I don't know what's in her throat.
Blessed. That's the soul coming out.
Yes.
But anyway.
So, okay.
Yes. And Ron, my brother, so proud of all of the things that you are accomplishing.
Yes.
And and just seeing your growth is so inspiring, and it continues to fuel me as well. My Philly brother.
Extraordinary.
Much love and much respect.
He from Philly too?
Oh, all day.
Oh, that's
all
dope.
day.
Oh, y'all Philly people. Todd, Don B, everybody from Philly.
That's right. I'm gonna get my guy, brother Hank, next time. He gonna come down, do makeup too.
Cut it out. Headed to the studio. Love you, Lettucey. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Please tell people about the series. It will help us tremendously.
Absolutely. North Philly.
Yes.
We got North Philly, we got South Philly, and West Philly.
I
all
love
up
it.
in
LA all day. Thank you, boo. Thank you, Lettucey.
Yeah.
Y'all, so, okay. So next week, it's Thursday. So South Philly. Next week is Caleb's reaction. I'll just say that. Yeah. So,
his
Sunday.
knee-jerk response.
His knee-jerk. No, don't.
Okay.
Don't try to clean it up.
I'm not. I'm just keeping it 100. Y'all, and we all have
it.
Because he,
Okay. Don't make no excuses.
That's a lot to put on a man.
Don't make no excuses.
Man done went through all this.
Yeah, so Sunday.
Wrecked his car. You forgot his birthday. Come on, don't make me start
see, that's the thing about communication. So do you think Caleb had said that to her before?
No, he
So
hasn't.
now he going off talking about, you wrecked my car. You forgot my birthday.
Right.
You didn't pick me up from the airport.
How you not pick your husband up from the airport, though? My
she
God.
She got a last-minute news report, and somebody got killed, and she was able to got you in mind for something. All right.
Brother, I'm here. I'm here for you.
Can y'all have me in mind for something? My actor is always working. I be like, if I don't write it, Jesus, I ain't in it. But I can act a little bit, y'all know. Like, dang, a sister got to write and produce everything. Okay, so... Yeah, so I think he had a lot of great chemistry, you two. Thank you, Charo. Coco. Thank you, Pooh. Oh,
that's
Coco
Beauty.
Bread.
That's Beauty.
Beauty is her name.
There it is.
So, dang, I forgot what I was saying. About next week?
Yeah.
Oh, the knee-jerk reaction?
The knee-jerk reaction. And understanding that, we deal within what we have. We only bring to the table our life experiences before that moment. And so there's an opportunity for growth. And we either grow together or we grow apart.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens.
Let's see where they go.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all so much. And please, I can't implore y'all enough. Please let people know about this.
Please, y'all.
And just work with us. We're so grateful for the people that all of you guys that are hanging with us and just sticking with us.
Yes.
And just we appreciate your feedback and just all of this is just a wonderful experience. I mean, because as actors, we put in so much work. And so to see this response and to have people like just be on here with us and support us, it just means everything.
Thank you. And thank you because y'all have shared it, watched it, share it. Please continue to do so. It's definitely going to take you on an unexpected journey in the next couple of weeks. I
promise. You won't be able to predict.
You won't
this
be
is not that
able
kind of situation.
To predict. And so, so we'll be awesome. Love y'all. Keep doing your thing. Thank you.
Love you back.
PowerCoupleStruggle.com. If people can't get KaniqueSky.com, PowerCoupleStruggle.com, the name of the series. You can go to the website, check it out. YouTube, Kanique Sky's Power Couple Struggle. So Sunday, it gets realer. More
We're going to have some fun.
Yeah. Well,
we're going to have some fun. That's what happens when, a tragedy and stress can afford lunacy and craziness. And sometimes you just got to revel in that.
It might be kind of fun for some people.
It's about a release. I need a release.
I don't know. It wasn't fun for me. It wasn't fun, Charo.
She loved that.
It wasn't fun for me, but so can't wait till next week, y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Stay with us. Love you.
Yes,
Thank
love
you
to life. Yeah, God bless. Dream big. They come true.
See you
Work
soon.
hard. See you soon. Bye.